Hello everyone, and today in this video we will be discussing about the concept of Z matrix. Yes, the Z matrix holds very important information about your molecule. Okay, so you can get various properties about a molecule only from this Z matrix. And also we have the Cartesian coordinates. We'll just leave it for now. Let's go in detail about the Z matrix. Okay, so here we will learn about how to edit our Z matrix and what type of modulations can be done to our molecule and how it plays very important role in your geometry optimization. All such things will be discussed in this video. Okay, yeah, let's understand what is this Z matrix. In chemistry, the Z matrix is a way to represent a system built of atoms. Here, the system represents your molecule. Yes, your molecule is built of atoms. So, it is representing that molecule. That is your Z matrix. It is also known as the internal coordinate representation. Yes, so the coordinate actually it means your X, Y and Z. Right, the three coordinates. Right, so these are compiled to represent your molecule. So your molecule will be a 3D molecule which has X, Y and Z axis, right? So all these informations are obtained in the Z matrix from the internal coordinates of your molecule. So we call it like that. Yes, then it also provides a very important information about the molecule in terms of bond distance, bond angle, torsional or dihedral angle. These three informations are obtained through this Z matrix. Yeah, why we call it as Z matrix is because it assigns the second atom along the Z axis from the first atom. Your first atom will be in the origin. Okay, from there if one more atom, the second atom is attached, that will be in the Z axis. So it is named as Z matrix. Okay, yes, we have a format for Z matrix. So in that format it is available in your softwares, or if you do a molecular modeling in your software, your Z matrix will be represented in that particular format only. Okay, suppose you imagine you have n atoms. Okay, you know that it has 3n degrees of freedom. Yeah, so X, Y and Z, so the three coordinates, in that it has 3n degrees of freedom. Yes, so what are the unique coordinates is that it has 3n minus 6 unique coordinates. What this 6 correspond to? The 6 redundant corresponds to 3 translational and 3 rotational motions. Okay, so these 3 are subtracted and the total degrees of freedom is obtained. Okay, yes, this 3n minus 6 is used in order to construct your Z matrix coordinates. Okay, suppose if you have n atoms as I told earlier, how many bond distances, bond angles and torsional or dihedral angles you get? Yes, for example, I take H2O2 molecule. You have 4 atoms over here. See, if you have n atoms, when you subtract 1, n minus 1, you get that much number of bond distances. N minus 2 gives number of bond angles. N minus 3 gives number of torsional or dihedral angles. Yes, see here we have hydrogen peroxide with 4 atoms. So n is equal to 4. So how many bond lengths we get? We get 4 minus 1, 3 bond lengths. Bond angles, 4 minus 2, 2 bond angles. And dihedral angle, 4 minus 3, we get only 1 dihedral angle for your H2O2 molecule. Yes, we will demonstrate this and we will see the Z matrix, how it is generated using the WinMoStar software. Also you have many softwares available like Molden, where it is exclusively for Z matrix editing. Okay, but for our case today we will see how to use WinMoStar to generate your Z matrix. Okay, yes, so you know a software creates Z matrix as follows. Okay, you will find that a Z matrix will have an order of the elements displayed. Okay, suppose if you have a benzene ring with the CHO group like benzaldehyde or something, the Z matrix will be arranged in the following order: from the ring, then your heavy atom, and then it goes to the hydrogen. We know that hydrogen is the least atomic number in the periodic table, right? So it comes at the last. So it is going in a descending order. So first the ring fragment, if the ring fragment is not there, it goes to the heavy atoms, and last it goes to your hydrogen atoms. And then you should notice about the optimization flag. Yes, so in the Z matrix you will be seeing that like 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 will be placed like a column, like a line. Okay, that is the optimization column. So it is used to avoid the addition of dummy atoms. Why the dummy atoms are added by the software? See, if you have 3 or more atoms in a single line, in a same line, so the software will misunderstand it and it can add some dummy atoms. So in order to avoid that, you just place the optimization flag, and we have certain commands how this optimization flag is done. But in some softwares like WinMoStar, the optimization flag is inbuilt, so you no need to do anything. The software itself automatically modifies it because you are doing geometry optimization before that, right? That's why. Yes. Now for example, let us discuss about the Z matrix for hydrogen peroxide. Yes, you see hydrogen peroxide has the formula HOOH. Yeah, the O and O is bridged first, right? Is bonded. The numbering is given as follows. I told already that your Z matrix will be arranged in descending order, starting from heavy atom to hydrogen, correct? Here you know that the heavy atom is your oxygen. So from here the number starts 1, 2, 3 and then it is 4. This is the order. And see, I have made a Z matrix table over here. You can see here. See, your Z matrix consists of this many components. Okay, atomic number, that is the atom number, not the atomic number. Atom number, the element, the bond distance, bond angle, torsional angle, and bonded to connectivity. So these BD is your bond distance, BA is your bond angle, and torsional angle is your T or DA. Okay, like for this atom number to which it is connected, that is that information you get here. See, you have the atom number. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, see the atom number, and the element is displayed corresponding to that with the above number, and you see the bond distance are displayed. Yes, so we have to connect the bond distance with the bond connectivity, then only you get this values displayed. See, atom number 1, yeah, this oxygen, it is connected to nothing first of all, so it will not consider this for anything because we took only this O element, so no values are displayed. This means it is not connected to any atom first. Okay, now consider atom number 2. Yeah, this atom 2 is connected with atom 1. See here, atom 2 is connected with atom 1, so these two are bonded. You get a bond length. Yeah, that is displayed over here. And only 2 atoms, so you cannot get bond angle and no torsional angle, so here no connectivity with that. Then see atom 3, that is hydrogen element, atom 3. Yeah, atom 3 is connected to atom 2. Yes, atom 3 is connected to atom 2 as shown here, and you get the bond distance. Okay, and now you see you can get the detail about the bond angle. You have bond angle. How? See, the atom 3 is connected with your bond angle, bond angle, the atom 1. So 3 is connected with 1. See, 3 is connected with 1, and see, you put a circle for this and you get a angle because 3 atoms are involved. Now you get an angle of 110.5 degree. And see, atom number 4 is connected with 1. See, 4 with 1 you get a bond distance, and then you see atom number 4 is connected with atom 2. Again you get a complete circle, and with 3 atoms you get a bond angle 110.5. Then atom 4 is connected with atom 3. 4 with 3 as a whole you get a dihedral angle. See, only one dihedral angle, that is at 180 degree. So this is all about the Z matrix format. Okay, this is how it looks. Okay, in the WinMoStar, this is how you will be generating a Z matrix. You just go to open your WinMoStar, and I construct my H2O2 molecule. and I just give quick optimize, and finally what happens, as you construct and complete, you have your Z matrix ready over to your right side. It will be displayed. See what all values we saw, it is displayed here. Yes, so the first column shows the atom number, the second shows the element, and the third is your bond distance, then optimization flag, then bond angle optimization flag, then dihedral angle optimization flag. Yeah, for H2O2 molecule we saw it has 4 atoms, n-1, so we get 3 bond length. Yeah, we got it. Then n-2, we get 2 bond angles. Yes, we got it. Then C4-3, only 1 dihedral angle. See, all we got. And these are the connectivities which we saw earlier in that table, right? This is how the Z matrix is to be understood. Yeah, what's so interesting about the dihedral angles? Yeah, hydrogen peroxide, you should know that it exists in various forms. Yeah, every molecular substance can exist in various forms. So one such thing is your like in gaseous form, it will be in one particular geometry, in solid state it will be in another geometry, and it keeps on going, right, like that. So some 3 important features have been obtained with the 3 different dihedral angles in your hydrogen peroxide molecule. See, for 180-degree dihedral angle, the shape is found to be like this. For 119.27 degree bond angle, it was dihedral angle, it is like this. And for 0 dihedral angle, see, the shape has changed. See, your molecular geometries keep on changing according to the physical nature of the compound. Yes, so you can notice that your hydrogen peroxide can have 3 different point groups according to the different dihedral angles. See, C2, C2H and C2V. For C2 means you should have a bond angle, the dihedral angle as 119. For C2H it should be 180. For C2V point group you should have 0 dihedral angle. Okay, let's go to that Z matrix editor in the Winmostar, and we will try to change all those things and see as we change the dihedral angle, we can see we get all these different kinds of point group. So this serves the purpose, right? So the Z matrix can be edited and your geometry of the molecule can be noted. So we'll see the demonstration now for that. So now go to your Winmostar and draw hydrogen peroxide. You see the Z matrix on your right side. Now click tools. I'll analyze the point group now. Let us see. It displays the Schoenflies notation. Click high accuracy and click analyze. Yes, you see the point group. I'll just deselect all. See, the point group is C2H when it is corresponding to the dihedral angle as follows. See, the 180-degree dihedral angle, right? So C2H for 180-degree dihedral angle. This 179.9 which approximates to 180 degree. Okay. See, you have the Z matrix there. So I have the Z matrix editor here. I just go with other dihedral angle. So I just type 119. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. It's 119.274. So I just give that dihedral angle now. See, it has changed there. Okay. Now I'll analyze the point group again. So when I give 119 degrees, see the shape has changed. The geometry has changed. Okay, as we saw in the PPT. Click analyze now and see the point group is C2 now, as we discussed now. Right. So point group is C2 for 119.274. Now I'll go with 0 dihedral angle. Click enter after putting that value. See, the geometry has changed again. See how the Z matrix helps you determine the properties of the molecule. See, and now I'll give analyze again. See, now the point group is C2V as we discussed earlier. So this is how you will correlate with your Z matrix and edit using your Z matrix. Okay. Okay, so you are aware about what to do and how you got all the point groups and everything, and you have well understood the Z matrix concept a little, right? Okay, now what are the advantages of this Z matrices is that I've taken very few now for want of time. You see here the first point, it is used to create input geometries for molecular systems in many molecular modeling and computational chemistry program. Yeah, as we did now. So we just did some editing works and we changed the geometries of the molecular system, right? So that is the one such advantage of the Z matrix. And see, a skillful choice of internal coordinate can make the interpretation of results straightforward. Yeah, if suppose I want the information about the gas phase hydrogen peroxide molecule, see what I did, I just changed the diagonal angle, or you can change all the you can change the values with your experimental data, and you can get the result properly. Okay, you can just produce the results accurately. Then the Z matrix contains molecular connectivity information, so quantum chemical calculations such as geometry optimization may be performed faster. See, it gives molecular connectivity information, right? So which atom is connected to which in your protein chemistry or in your large molecule, in that and all. So that is very important. So which atom should be connected to which, and how much bond distance it should be. So you can entirely use your Z matrix to get all the computational properties by giving the molecular connectivity information and changing the coordinates and giving all the values of your choice, which is a skillful choice. Okay, so that's all about the Z matrix concept. So yeah, just we had a very little short idea about what is Z matrix over here. So you can try and understand the Z matrices for many compounds, and you can correlate with that. Okay, so you have many softwares, as I told, the Molten software, which we will cover it later, and how to construct Z matrix using the Molten and how to use the commands for that and everything. For now, we have discussed for WinMoster. Okay, thank you.